Hi, and welcome back. I thought we would mix things up today. I am in my sunroom with my little slew of animals here who are all trying to help, it seems. Today, we are going to be talking about 5 must read books for any creative entrepreneur. I've read all of these. I think they are absolutely fabulous, and I'm super excited to be sharing them with you today. So, if you're new here, my name's Tanya. I'm a musician, blogger, passive income and SEO specialist, and I've been a creative entrepreneur since 1997, and I've learned so many lessons along the way, and these books helped me learn some of those lessons. So, I hope you find this video very informative. And make sure you stick around to the end because I'm saving my absolute favorite book for last. Up first is the Money Book for freelancers, part-timers, and the self-employed. And now I bought this on my Kindle. So this book is written by Joseph Diognese, I hope, and Denise Kiernan. And this book was a really big game changer for me early on in my career when it came to being a self-employed person. It really helped me understand what money was all about as someone who's self-employed, and it helped me understand what I needed to be doing in my business if I wanted it to succeed. It starts off by just overviewing money as someone who is self-employed, things you don't necessarily think about if you're first starting out, like taxes, for example, and exactly how much you're going to have to pay in taxes. Also, the importance of not spending your entire paycheck, because when you're in the freelance space, that paycheck will not be steady. So it's important to set aside part of it for later on. It talks about how to budget as someone who's self-employed with irregular income. And then part 2 moves into working their system, setting up accounts to where you can automatically transfer into a tax withholding account, a savings account, a retirement account, getting all of that set up. And then finally, part 3 delves into what you need to do as you grow, how you can invest, how you can plan for the future as a business owner. I think this book is top notch. It is a must read for anyone. It is what had me open my very first withholding account after a very scary tax season when I had no idea how much money I was going to owe, and it was a little scary. But now I have a withholding account where I put away a certain percentage of my income every single time I get a check. So when it's time to make my quarterly tax payments or when it's time to pay my final tax bill, I don't have to think of it. It does not come out of my bank account, my personal bank account. It comes out of that withholding account. And any money left in it after taxes are done, that's just my income tax refund. So I like to view it that way. It also encouraged me to set up a high yield savings account with an online bank. And that also has been a game changer for me. And I just set it up like a monthly bill where I automatically have a certain amount put into that account every month, just like it's a bill. So I'm automating my savings. The same with retirement. So the Money Book is one I would highly recommend. Now let's look at book number 2. Book number 2 is Company of One by Paul Jarvis. And this book is all about why it's okay to stay small if you want to. This is intended for those of you who have no desire to turn your business into a giant corporation. You are perfectly fine being a solopreneur or having a very, very small team. Company of One is that book, and I absolutely love it. I'll read a little of the back for you. Company of One is a refreshing approach to success centered on staying small and questioning growth. Not as a freelancer who only gets paid per project or as a startup that wants to scale up as soon as possible, but as a small business deliberately committed to better instead of bigger. And he walks through exactly how you can do this and maintain that. And this book is great if you're in that camp. If you want to stay small, you like having a small business, and here's the deal, we don't have to become billionaires. But I don't think I want to become a billionaire. That's just too much to deal with. But running a small business, keeping it small, and being very successful in it. So that's where Company of One comes into play. So if you're a person out there who thinks differently about your business goals, who doesn't feel the need to grow and expand and grow and expand, because let's face it, that growth can be overwhelming. It can be time consuming. It can be stressful. And there are so many people out there who are perfectly content having a successful small business that supports their family. Okay, book number 3 is Blue Ocean Strategy by Chan Kim and Renee, I'm going to try to pronounce this correctly, Moborn. And I do not actually have this book. This is a book that I got from the library on Libby and read. And I have to say, it is phenomenal. Blue Ocean Strategy talks about the importance of creating uncontested market space. And having that uncontested market space is so critical in the creative world when you really need to stand out. And it talks about blue oceans and red oceans, and how one is where everybody is doing the same thing, but the other, nobody's done yet, nobody's touched yet. And those are the oceans you want to pursue in your business. You want to go after the twist that no one's taken, the uniqueness, and how important it is to be innovative and creative in these already saturated markets. And this book shows you how to create a business where competition is irrelevant and you can really grow. It is a very enlightening book. It's a very motivating book, and I highly recommend it. Up next is Gary Keller's The One Thing. This book focuses on prioritizing the things in your business that will help you grow and will help move your business forward. And he has this concept in this book: what is the one thing that I can do today to help me get toward my goal? And it's all about eliminating the unnecessary. As business owners, we fall into this trap of routine, and this book really has you question whether or not that routine is necessary. Is every single thing you do in your business life every day absolutely necessary? And before I read this book, I was like, absolutely it is. Yes. And then after I read this book, I developed this concept of, you know what, maybe it's not. What is the one thing I can do right now today that's going to help me achieve my goal? This book's great. It was a #1 bestseller from the Wall Street Journal. And I know he's written several other books that I also like, but this is the one that made my top 5 list solely because of that concept of simplification. What is the one thing that you can do right now? I'll read just a little bit from the inside cover here. The one thing you'll learn to cut the clutter, to achieve better results in less time, to dial down the stress, to overcome that overwhelmed feeling. And yes, as business owners, we all know that overwhelmed feeling. To revive your energy and to stay on track. Okay, are you ready for my final and 5th book? This one's my favorite, and I recently just finished it, and I've been working through it now. So I'm not sure if that's why it's my favorite, or it's my favorite because that's where I am in my career right now. But it is The Manifestation Wheel by Alan Seal. Now, I've talked about it on this channel before, but I haven't really done a deep dive on it. And this book is amazing. Before I read The Manifestation Wheel, I thought manifestation was all of that like woo-woo bunk out there. It was just a bunch of BS. But this book really put a new scientific light on manifestation. This book, probably why I like it, is also very clear that manifestation is not something that you can simply just dream your desires into existence. But this book kind of piggybacks off The One Thing. It focuses on the future. It focuses on the end result that you want to get. And then it does my absolute favorite thing. It reverse engineers a plan to get to your desired outcome. So it's not about just thinking things into existence. And there is a little bit of stuff in here that was just a little out there for me, but I tried to approach it with an open mind. There's also a lot of scientific background in here as well. And I think he does a really good job relating the concept of manifestation to not just woo-woo spiritualist, but also within Christianity, within non-religion, with within anything really. He does a really good job of making this concept open to everyone in a way that is easy to attain. And I'll tell you, I've already achieved some of my goals that I had hoped to get within the next 3 years. I've already achieved them right now after reading this book. And it's not because I think that I thought them into existence. I think by working through this book, it helped me look at my end goal and what I really wanted and reverse engineer that path to get there. And it opened my mind to new ways of how I could get there faster. It just encourages you to think outside the box. And that's why right now, the manifestation wheel is my absolute favorite out of this list of 5. If I had you read them in any particular order, it would be different for every person because it depends on where you are in your business right now. But if you're first starting out, definitely start out with the money book. Then I would move on to the one thing. And from there, I would look at what you want to do next. So that Blue Ocean strategy book is great for creating new ideas. You might even do that before the one thing. But if you already have an idea and you know what you want to do and you're just ready to grow, move into the one thing. Then once you hit that point, you can really decide which you want to go to next. Is company of one more your idea? I want to stay small. Or is the manifestation wheel where you want to go next? Or maybe none of these are for you. And you know what? That's okay because we're all different. But these are 5 books that had a really big impact on my life. And I grew so much after reading them. And I wanted to share that with you. Now, if this is a video that you really enjoy, let me know and I'll do another book review. I'm currently working through a few more business books, and there are others that I've read as well. I'm a big reader. I'm a big book nerd. I'm a big nerd in general. I specialize in search engine optimization. I think we all know that. So anyway, I hope this has been insightful for you. And if you want to learn more about manifestation and the manifestation wheel, I did an entire video on that, and you can watch it right here. And until next time, peace out. Gentle. Be nice to your brother. The pets are obviously going to be fun this one. Come over here. Sit. Good boy. Thank you. Obviously, Buster likes this book too.